Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to Everything Meta episode 28. And today we're going to start off with a bit of news about ETH and then go around the Yasha universe. Joey, how are you today?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm amazing. Looking forward to some Thursday night football. That's my guilty pleasure. Football whenever I can catch it.
Oh,
So
nice. They play on
yeah.
Thursdays?
Oh, Joey, we have so much catching up to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Thursday, and then there's college if you can catch it. Saturday, and heck, if you're a real fan and you live in a place where it's good enough, there's Friday, high school ball.
hmm
Saturday college ball, then Sunday night football, Monday night football,
Mm.
and yeah, it's football
They
as
only
far as
play
I can
like
see.
10 games, right? Their season's super small.
17 seasons, 17 games in the regular season.
17 games. Okay.
Yeah,
Jeez, that's like
17 games. Yeah.
not a lot of air, huh? You have to be
No,
really good on one night.
exactly.
Yeah.
The season can change every week by week, based on the outcome of the prior week's matchups. It's like you
Yeah.
can. It's the great part. It's not baseball.
Mm,
It's no 162 games to figure this out. They
for
got
sure.
17. Yeah. All right. That being the case, most recent news as of this recording is last night slash this morning ETH merger. Last we talked about the ETH merger, Joy, you said, "Hey, what difference does it make? Who cares? Just want to make sure that's still where you are. Doesn't matter who cares. Big whoop."
Yeah. I don't think it matters that much. I mean, now, like I think I said last time, if we cut this segment and we make a little thing that says like ETH merge something, maybe we'll get some traction. Um, I think the biggest thing is ETH now has a product to sell, right? It now has a product to sell. I don't think the ETH network, right? Ethereum is so retail friendly
Mm-hmm.
because of the high gas fees, right? It's still not scalable. However, ETH and Bitcoin are the front runners in the race to having some type of regulation
Mm-hmm.
placed on them, which would mean that any institution that is operating in that framework, right, that regulatory framework, should fairly soon and probably currently should be participating in ETH now because there's no more hardware requirements, right? Like the GPUs to mine Ethereum, and now you just buy ETH. I think that you might see maybe a parabolic rise as institutions start to buy up ETH in order to validate transactions on the world's largest computer.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
my thesis, right? Um, I mean, why not? They say Bitcoin is like gold,
Right.
right? And there's some people that think, well, Ethereum is copper, right? Something you use every day, right? It's like copper. Uh,
Yeah.
if you pull the charts up side by side, the ETH and copper chart actually look very similar. Very similar.
Mm. I've
I
not.
think the
Yeah.
most bullish case for copper is that the only gap on the chart was below its past trading range,
Mm-hmm.
and it dipped down and filled that gap. And so a lot
Mm.
of people that are bullish on copper think it's only up, right? For the next however long, because it's still being used all the time. Um, that would mean the same for ETH, right? Theoretically, mean the same for ETH theoretically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, there's you, you got to think, right? It's like this sick, kind of this circle, right? You have institutions that 4 to 15% return from for validating transactions, and if it takes 32 ETH and stake them, stake the 32 ETH to get that return and validate those transactions, right? Then whoever is buying up ETH to stake, they kind of want the network. to be as busy as possible, right? Because the more volume, the more transactions that are going through the network, the more chances they have to validate transactions and get that return on their investment.
Right.
I think with the proof of stake, making it a little bit more centralized in some regards, but also striving towards a fully decentralized network that people can trust, um, enables regulation. If regulation comes in on the ETH network, you might see people like Morgan Stanley uh, offering investment products based on just the ETH validating and that percentage return.
Mhm.
So, like you could see ETH ETFs popping up, people buying ETH, corporations, whatever, just buying ETH just to stake as a way to manage their treasury. The same way that maybe they would, diversify a portfolio and put some in metal, right? The only difference is that like the copper, copper isn't necessarily giving a percentage return, right?
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's my 2 cents. I hope that was clear and maybe
No,
made
yeah,
sense.
it was great. I think the comparison is not one I've heard, but I think it's fair as you laid it out. Um, I wonder what the existing mineable supply of copper is, as we think about kind of the deflationary aspect of ETH as it compares to copper that is mineable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to probably dig into that for the next time we have this conversation. But we must move on because we have lots to get to. What is happening in the world of Guzzler?
Oh, well, we're having our tournament right now, which is really exciting. I just spectated on a match between UC and Dimpo, and
Mhm.
their first match, nobody was spectating their match, and when they were done, they came back into chat, and one of them was like, "I clearly won that," and the other guy was like, "No, I beat you," and there was controversy.
Yeah.
there was there was controversy, and so we're like, okay, you guys have to have a rematch, and somebody's gonna spectate. So I just spectated their match, and Dimpo ended up winning. UC put up quite the fight, but it is a fun game. Like people get heated.
Mhm.
People are playing this game and racing,
Yeah.
and they're getting heated on the controversy. Like whether somebody, I don't know, it's pretty fun, especially when there's some money involved, or prize. There's a prize involved, right? Um, so there's that. We're
Mhm.
collaborating with several projects, and I think what you'll see with Guzzler is that we're super collaborative, right? Like we're not trying to get people to rotate from this to that. We
Right.
know a lot of the developers in the space, the people that are really building on things, and so we've built a car for Blitz Labs. We built a car for Everrise.
Mm.
We built a car for Scan,
Mm.
uh, and we built a car for Cheems Inu. And what we hope to be able to do is if they have a specific number of NFTs that they want to give away as prizes or whatnot in their own communities, it's a free mint, right? So they could give away whitelist spots for some type of community involvement in their own communities, right? So um, it gives them like another little tool, not competitive, just like, and then maybe they can race, and
Yeah,
and have fun, right? So
that would be cool. That would be cool. So that is Guzzler, the Guzzler update. Let's go to my favorite. Anything you want to share? Anything coming up? Anything that you know of?
man, I know that Budosh is working super hard. I've seen some of the background stuff. He's building an entire suite of tools, um, which is pretty cool. These are tools that some people build for themselves privately. I have several of them that I use privately.
Hmm.
Okay. And I think that he's making it available to the public, which is pretty cool. Not every single one. So I mean, the stuff that he's building is really cool. And then there's some highly technical things with Uniswap V3 liquidity pools that he's been tinkering around and experimenting with as well, which are very bullish. Um, yeah, super bullish
Hmm.
stuff. That if you're in the know, it's pretty advanced and interesting. Still pushing the boundaries of blockchain and whatnot. Um, Other than that, I don't know. We're trying to, as these different projects come out and whatnot, we're really trying to do our best to let things stand on their own, support them when they need support, so on and so forth. So I think Budosh is doing a great job. Um, he's a young man, like having 11,000 people all looking to you,
Yeah,
um, especially when you kind of look around, you wonder like who's there supporting on the back end and whatnot, right? You know what I mean? So I know that anything they need over there, we're down. I mean, we abandoned, tens of thousands of dollars in development, right? To not compete with what they were doing, So
I see. Hmm.
yeah.
And with that, we're expecting the playground platform at some point post merge, which has happened. So we don't have a definitive date. We're told September. We're told post merge. So potentially in the next 15 days.
I'm not sure. I know the swap, right, is directly related to Cliff. I'm not sure the playground is directly related to Cliff. I think those are Budash's tools that he's building and will make available, but I'm not sure. Aside from people in Cliff being able to use them for their own benefit,
Mm,
I don't think that there's any like specific function that they serve to benefit Cliff or whatnot. I think the swap does, and that's up to them to figure out. Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know, So
cool.
yeah,
Let's go to Neko.
yeah. Neko's super cool, guys.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. So goodness, can we get done with the development of the wallet, please? Like my goodness, we should be really, really close on the software wallet development.
Mm,
Okay, it should be really, really close. I mean, you know, both Z and D are managing the development of the software and hardware wallet. There is a development firm in the United States that is like overseeing the D app build as well as the hardware wallet design and build out, material sourcing, production sourcing, so on and so forth, even box and packaging,
hmm.
right? Ryan is in charge of the Neko Guard auditing arm, the blockchain security arm, and he's
Okay.
collaborating with Billy Christmas on that
Mm,
right now. I know that they are auditing several contracts right now, so that is actually underway and
okay.
and ongoing. And I think we have a meeting tomorrow on some updates on some new direction because I think there was a bit of a lull, like kids going back to school, so on and so forth. Everybody is I mean, everybody,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like last week was, there's a lot of stuff going on.
for sure.
First week of school, guys,
Yeah. It's tough.
there, there's
Yeah.
important things in life, so that's one
Yeah,
of them.
for
Your
sure.
your
Yeah.
family, your kids, and their growth. So so yeah, I mean it's chugging along. I think our original delivery date for the software wall, I think we're a little bit overdue, and I think they might be a little bit late on the hardware wallet as well. However, that's like sort of to be expected, and so we try not to say any dates at all, generally until we know exactly when they're going to be done. Mainly because all development, is over. Mostly all development is like overpromised
Mhm.
and is late.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and so what what I do, okay, because I don't do any of the development, is I just say, let's say as little as possible about about some type of delivery date because we're not Apple. Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're not.
Yeah.
God, we're gonna try, but a lot of it's out of our hands as well. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so, you can put your best faith in people, and hopefully it comes in at around the time that they say. And if
Mhm.
not, it's pretty understandable sometimes. Considering supply chain, tariffs on on various importing of electronic
Mhm.
pieces,
Yeah.
components.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However technical you wanna be. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think that once we have a really good package together, I think that we're gonna be jamming. I, it's funny. I was talking to my kid's tennis coach. That he's a angel investor, just local here. He calls me sometimes to ask me about business things. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And they invested a significant sum into this phone device where it like cups your phone. It's like a phone holder, but it enhances the sound,
Mm.
right?
Mhm.
It's like it projects the sound a little bit. And they got into Walmart, but it, you know, he's like don't they have to like come out with more and more products, right? Because like once people were like buy up all this supply, like what are they gonna do? Where are the new users going to come from? Like obviously everybody has a cell phone, but how many people need a little device to make the sound louder or to hold it on their desk, right? Like
Mhm.
not that many people. Um, and so anyway, that I think that there's lots of people out there that are looking for like device and product style investments, for the long term. Especially, there's a lot of VC funds that focus specifically in the Web 2, Web 3 crypto financial tool sector. And so I think NACO should be able to complete some type of fundraise here coming up once we have products on the ground. We can show some traction with some sales and
Mhm.
whatnot. I think that would be good. Software wallet. I want to use the software wallet. Like if
Yeah.
anybody's out there talking to our people, tell them we want this. We want this now.
Yeah. Petition. Let's see.
Yeah.
Poochie.
Pochi. You know what? Docty and Samco's are always trying to figure out what the next steps are. I think right now their last message I saw from Docty was something about artificial intelligence, artificial intelligence, and being able to take pictures of people's pets and stick them into the metaverse, like build a blend file of them, stick
That's
them in the,
cool. Yeah.
to make like lasting memories.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It's really tough. Gosh, so- when you're sometimes things just don't need. We talked about this, I think, like the other week. Sometimes things just don't need tokens.
You're
You
right.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
There are
thought they
some
had a
complications.
great. I thought they had a great business plan, and direction forward just as a business, without ever introducing a token, right? And when you introduce a token, you have to maintain a chart. And so, like, it very well, if they never had a token, right? And they could still do this, this is not, it's not saying this isn't possible, right? But what they're doing is they're creating like Tamagotchi style metaverse dogs. And you guys
Mhm.
have seen the development, the beta for the original open world that team is developing, right? You can have your poachy dog in there. And so it's it's done and you can see it. Now it's like, okay, how many kids out there can't have a dog and they want a metaverse dog? You know, how many
Mhm.
people want a metaverse dog? Right. And then you sell that, right? That is the model, right? You're selling metaverse dogs. Make it really simple. If you have a token, right, you have people that inevitably end up buying the top or wherever and they get frustrated or whatever it is. And it's like, how do you integrate the token into this business model? If Docky all he wanted to do, right, was sell metaverse dogs, he might have been able to sell like $100 million worth of metaverse dogs if that was like the sole focus
Mhm.
of what everybody was doing, right?
Mhm.
So anyway, we've done our part. I know Z did a lot of contributed quite a bit on the development end. Um Contributed quite a bit on the development end for Pochi Optimus as well. I think plenty of the support crew as an incubator stepped up and did quite a bit of work. And I think that he's ready to go. And so Godspeed, Docty and Samco's, um, you know, get it done.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. World peace. Any updates?
Yeah, man. So check this out. This is like such a crazy, this is like not such a big headache for me, at all, but World Peace Token, really awesome project. Guys, the community came up with this project, voted on it, and wanted to launch it. You cannot put it on me, okay? However, although it's like, dude, imagine like everybody, let's do this, and Joey's gonna manage the thing. I'm like, bro, like I can't, like, I got so many things going on. So anyway, so we had Grog and Zamunda on the project. Okay, that did not work out.
Mm.
Okay, then Farouk was like, "Yeah, I can try to." I'm like, Farouk, can you find me a developer that can just make this app? And he's like, "Yeah, I can try." So he started. He didn't think that the developer that he picked that was starting to put together could you know complete a robust back end for that. So he stopped. And then I asked Jax, I'm like, Jax, can you do this? And he's like, yeah. So now Jax is doing it. Okay. We had Grog, I don't know what happened to Grog.
Mhm.
Zamunda, I'm not sure where Zamunda went on the project either.
Mm.
Farouk is a game developer working on several games. So
Right.
the community should not be like, Farouk, when are you going to get done with this? That is not his project, guys. Like you cannot. He's trying to help because he's part of the community, which all of you
Right.
guys should be doing. Okay, next time everybody decides to launch a project all together, you know what I mean? You guys just get it done. People need to step up. People are always in there. What's the update? What's the update? Well, it's like make a room, make a Telegram group, make a Discord group, make whatever it is, and try to get it done.
That's a good call. We've talked off and on a bit more recently about kind of taking ownership. Even though we sit inside of these DAOs, it sometimes has a top down feel, but that's something that uh, we as a community need to kind of overcome and kind of reorganize, or at least reorganize our thoughts, and maybe do more bottom up or organizing without being kind of told how and where to be, because again, it is a community project and we all should kind of roll up our sleeves a bit. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. You know what's cool? This Flash project. The only thing that I've done, just a bit of communication.
Yeah.
Oh, Flash. Nice. Yeah. This is just related to Yash. The only thing
Yeah.
that I've done, a bit of communication, Flash team,
Mm.
a little bit of organizing, coming on and co-hosting a roundtable with you, right, for the Flash team.
Mm.
Um, and the DAO has done the rest,
Mm.
which
Mm.
is awesome. That means my work is almost done, Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah. If the
Yeah.
DAO is able to function and I didn't do anything, There's no like centralized team doing anything in the DAO, and they're able to get to launch a project and all be the active participants in the project, you know, in that incubation, then my work is done, right?
Yeah, fair. Yeah,
So
like raising a child
yeah,
until that child can take care of itself.
yeah,
Yeah, fair. But any updates on Flash besides that?
yeah. They want to launch as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just looking at the market, you know, like they've had like a pretty drawn out you know, time with their relaunch. And so I know that Dev just wants to make sure that it's like a good time. So after the merge, let's see what the merge does. Let's see what the NFT market is doing, and be that, you know, be that project that can really shine,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Gats.
Yeah.
Any how's it going? Any updates? Uh,
Well, their
anything worth?
branding is peace. It looks like their chart and overall community is like pretty bearish, which we didn't like in fully anticipate, right? But we knew that the market was really bad,
Yeah.
right? We knew that the market was really bad. Um, I think that project is a really cool project. You know what I mean? I think it's really cool. I think there's some really cool people involved. I think their mission outside of Telegram and outside of crypto is really good.
Yep.
It's another one of those like, what does the token do? Right? Why is a token? Because you could have like launched a project and done something very similar without any token. And I tell people this, you know, I told Docty that before Pochi launched. I told Samco's that before Pochi launched. I told you know, Peace Token Dev that before Peace Token launch. Who am I to say no, right? You can't have a token, right? I can't. I like, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. You know what I mean? It I don't think, you know, I told you that. You
Yep.
know what I mean? If you go,
Yeah.
guys, for all those out there that think we're just like, boom, launch token, launch token, launch token, it's not the case. I try to tell everybody, like, does it actually need a token? If it doesn't, you know, what is it? You know, what are we doing? Um, but yeah, I think that Anthony is working on his project. You
Am
know,
I wrong in that they're moving away? Did I misinterpret something I read that they're moving away from the kind of peace gunsy theme?
I think
Thought
GAT. I thought they were moving away from GATs.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I thought it was
peace.
the other way. Yeah.
Oh, really? Peace is like a
It
graffiti piece, like a piece of
it,
art.
it could be perceived either way, right? Like it's somewhat of a double entendre in that a piece would also represent the same thing that a gat is, right? You know,
Yeah,
yeah. So that's why I couldn't. I thought it was the other way, but hey, as long as it's working,
those guys are
hopefully it is.
badass. I like Anthony a lot. I think he's a great speaker. He's smart.
Yeah, yeah. I've talked to him from time to time offline. In fact, he'd recently invited me to something that he was doing a couple hundred miles away, but in the city, Chicago. I didn't make it just because of the timing and back to school stuff, but very interested in some of the things he's doing. Like it's right up my alley with kind of access issues and underserved youth and that kind of
Youth
thing. It's
empowerment and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
um,
I think it's a great project. The problem is you have crypto bros, moon boys, you know, they don't care.
yeah,
You know, necessarily. I mean, I think some do, but most people just want volume. Dude, I tell you all the time, man. Like, it's volume. Are people buying and selling? Are more people buying and selling? And that is how people make money in this casino, right? And people that stick with things based on honor generally lose money, right?
yeah,
Um, there are some tokens like Yasha that are valuable because they continuously produce. Not everything is going to be a winner, right? Not everything's going to be a winner. The more people that don't participate, the harder it is to make winners. The more people in Yasha that participate, the easier it's going to be to make winners, right? Because like if every single pre-saler, all 200 pre-salers or whatever it is, right, contributors, if they all contribute a little bit, like they reach out to this publication, they reach, one person, like here you have a channel, right? You can make a video for an upcoming project, right? You
For
can
sure.
host a
Yeah.
roundtable. You're doing your
Yeah.
part, right? What does that account for, right? Whereas somebody else, what are they gonna? They're gonna contribute some funds, right? But it's like, what is every little thing? I didn't even the Zero project. I didn't even. I forgot to do a pre-sale, or I forgot to do the. I didn't get an airdrop. I didn't get an airdrop.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
think I did. I haven't checked, but I'm pretty sure that they didn't include me, even though I have over the required amount or whatever.
Mm.
But
Mm.
yeah, so and same with Flash. I didn't register for Flash either. You know, so none
Yeah.
of these, I'm not not doing any airdrop things. So
Cool. Where are we with no gas?
so I think that the merge proof of stake ETH changed a couple little technical things in their development. I checked
Mm-hmm.
in with the dev and the dev team just the other day. He messaged me. He's like, "Hey, we're gonna have to just delay by a little bit because proof of stake ETH is changing a few things, but the rest of the dev team said maybe it would be like a week at most." And then hope, and I think he is it's not vindicated, right, but he's being his perspective is validated now. I think that everybody can see that get nothing changed
Right.
with gas,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, nothing changed.
In the last
So
13 hours, we'll see. But yeah, so far we're
no, they have to do some other stuff. It is still not a scalable network, you know
good.
what I mean? Yeah, it's still not a scalable network. So yeah, I think maybe he said maybe a week and they just have to change a few little things, and then I think they're ready to rock. And I think that is a beast project. It is so cheap. It is so
Mm-hmm.
cheap. It is. I think it's a beast. It's a beast project. And all the people out there that may or may not cover guys, like there's nothing. You guys all use ETH, okay? You all pay gas fees. Here's a project that's literally making it so that you don't have to pay a gas fee. Like, what are you doing? That should be news. Why
Yeah, it's a
people don't cover
no-brainer.
the news, dude? They get paid
Yeah.
to cover, things that is, I don't know. It's weird. I think covering the news, I think is important because there's lots of people building in this space for the better, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then there's a lot of people that have like all sorts of clandestine strategies to just scrape ETH, out of the hands of participants, and it's not helping anything, right? So
One day we're gonna have a long talk about regulation.
you know,
Let's see. Lastly on my agenda, kind of as the umbrella, where what's up with Yasha in long term, short term, medium term, whichever terms you'd like to discuss.
Yash, great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
I hope I mean, look, here is a pre-sale. I'm not doing anything. Okay. I'm not doing anything for this pre TGE contribution, the Flash project. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm like just a bit of communication and a bit of perspective. The DAO is functioning, right?
Mhm.
Like, do people realize that? Like, the DAO is actually functioning. There are DAO people that are not paid, right? That are contributing to this Flash launch. And I think the raise will happen, and then the launch will happen, and everybody will come together and make this happen. And I think that it'll be really great. Um, I think that is the goal. Wasn't that the goal? It's a
Yeah,
DAO. It's a
that's
DAO
the Dow.
incubator
Yeah,
launchpad.
yeah.
They're doing it. You know what I mean? They're doing it right at the time. it's crazy how like community sentiment is like lower right now overall
Hmm.
when it's finally working.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
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 Before it took like a lot of involvement, right? Now it's working. It's finally
Yeah.
working.
So let's get a tease. One thing I want to tease we talked about uh, briefly is kind of the incentives that we have to offer for our new listeners, our subscribers, our commenters. Some maybe token incentives or other incentives. Do you want to tease what it is that we may be able to provide from a giveaway perspective from the show?
I'll leave that on you. We can talk in the background, then I'll leave it on you.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm not giving out any prizes on video.
All right. Well, you heard it. There will be something. So I'm going to make a lofty goal. This isn't a project specific channel. This isn't covering, one niche project or another. This is us talking about every and all things important, not just to Yasha DAO, Science DAO, and DeFi in general. We're looking to build this channel. The more of you that listen, the more other people will be triggered to listen based on the response from YouTube, etc. Don't forget, we are also we have a podcast, audio only podcast out, and you can find that and any other information that we're posting at everythingmeta.blog. Please do go visit. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye, guys.